Hello everybody, I go by the artist name with the poetry name Angelicmajestic. There's a few tidbits of information that I would like to talk about that could be very interesting. I wouldn't say very interesting. I would say essentially important for our awareness into the public health. I would say that I would classify it more as a public health PSA, public service announcement of sorts. There's things that's going on with this virus and pandemic and crisis that we're not cognizant of, and it's important to look at the answers and the facts. The same amount of numbers that it takes lives, I think it's around 600,000 people a year, is the same amount of lives that cancer takes each year. And look how we correlate cancer and how we treat cancer. And look how this virus is devastating our society today. So, I'm talking from a background from a short time in special operations in the fire department. My birth father was in special operations his whole career, and he was at the command center on 9/11. When I was in SOC support unit, special operations, we would go over different things that are the same things as named as the Sarscovid-2 variants, like the alpha, beta, theta, gamma. Those are all the same names of radioactive, biological, chemical warfare. Now, I'm only gathering the facts. I would like to know the facts, and I'm only putting the pieces together. I'm trying not to make claims or assumptions. I would like to work with other people and mindsets of people more established to collaborate that have the best interest of the public's health safety on this. So when I was in we also our hazmat unit, so I'll go back to that a little later. My neighborhood, ironically enough, Rockaway Beach, was the hardest hit neighborhood in New York City, one of the hardest hit neighborhoods in one of the hardest hit countries. I experienced symptoms, feelings, and SARS-CoV-2, COVID, that my body beat off and built a parasite-like, worm-like defense to it. I was having exacerbating coughing. I was sick, and this was late December, early January. This was before the first person documented had it. After I had it, I got checked out. The SARS-CoV-2 started getting documented. The SARS-CoV-2 was being documented around my presence. My cough was so bad that it felt like glass was in my chest and I had to lay on my stomach. I took a stool culture and there was parasitic worms in it. This is not exactly recorded, but I have the documentation. Now, there's a multitude of things that transpired that I'll leave out because this is a video in regards to speaking recognition to the best interest for all of us. And it's awareness for all of us what's actually going on. I went into St. John's Apostle Episcopal in Rockaway Hospital, March 6th. I left around March 19th. This is all being documented to the highest degree. The first documented doctor to die of this virus in the USA. The doctor died 2020, March 24th, I think it was, or about 5 days after I left his care at St. John's Hospital. When I say this is all being documented, this is all being documented. And there's things that are being misdocumented. So he was the first doctor, my doctor, that was documented that death from SARS-CoV-2. And if you speak to Secret Service, such as I may have, it's recognized that this virus was a slip. To me, if that's accurate, there's some type of divine intervention that transpired with this virus. Now, what I'm going to go over now is to open up your mind to think about what's really going on. Don't take my opinion. All I would like to do is put facts out there to open the minds of us all to make our own opinion. Because we share a consciousness. We are in a collective consciousness. 2002 to 2003, the first time that we have documented, even though documents, they get altered many times, still documented. 2002, 2003, SARS-CoV-2. Origins is, our original name of COVID is SARS-CoV-2, just like HIV is to AIDS. And it has many of the same factors of the mutation factors that AIDS has, of replicating and mutating. So in 2002 to 2003, SARS came to the States from Wuhan. From what I looked up, it left Wuhan and came to the States first, March 24th. The same date that it was recognized by either the CDC or the World Health Organization, one of those, that I looked up, good research, March 13th around, within a day or two, in 2003 was when they recognized SARS-CoV-2, just like in 2020. This was the first states that it was transferred to, from what I believe. Then, 2012, a formation of SARS called Mars, nothing to do with Mars, or does it? That's up to you to think. There was it was recognized, another formation of SARS was recognized as a national select agent as a threat to public safety. So in 2012, 10 years after it killed already 800 people that we're not talking about, it's recognized as a weapon. You see, if I have a gun, I don't. That's recognized as a threat and a weapon. So when you bring it around again, it's already recognized. And this weapon has already taken 800 lives. So it's a weapon that's been used. It's already guilty of murder. So this weapon that's taken lives, that's recognized for taking lives, comes back again. Now, this weapon, in 2018, whether it's a virus or a weapon or a conjunction of those two, transmitted from a bat in 2018 in Wuhan, a digestive formation of SARS, slaughtered 25,000 pigs. Now understand that we have the same DNA, and if you had a test dummy of humans and you were testing something out, you would want to test it on a lab rat or a pig. And the best thing you would want to test a virus on, if you were testing on, would be something that would be an incredible incubator if this was manufactured. And if you look into the information and the research, bats are incredible incubators of this virus. Now, 2019. So, a pneumonia case could kill you, and you could document it whatever you want. In 2012, Wuhan recognized 27 pneumonia cases. Not only did they recognize it, they knew exactly what it was, because they have a long-standing history of it. And they have a long-standing history, a past history of sending it over here, by accident or not. This is a weapon. We do not ignore weapons. We pay attention to them, we watch them, or we use them. December 13th, which has now been altered, because during this time I was paying attention to see what was wrong with me. I was paying attention to tidbit facts that we weren't cognizant of. Wuhan recognized the SARS-CoV-2. December 25th, the White House recognized SARS-CoV-2. Throughout this time and these months, I was coming in and out of sterilized taxis and cabs. Sterilized, washed down, like somebody washed it down before I would get in. But that really has no sense here. That's December 25th, and then so I'll go into the information that we're at now. The variants that are coming out, Delta, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Lambda, are the same names as radioactive radiation. Now, what's more interesting than that is there's 9 countries. 9 countries that have 0 cases. 0. Not 1 case, but 0. These 9 countries are in peace treaty and alliances with China. I feel this information is telling. Micronesia, Palau, Nauru, Kiribati, Tuvalu, Samoa, Tonga, Turkmenistan, and North Korea. A lot of countries I have not really heard of much before, but are each countries that are in peace treaty, beneficial relationships of alliance with China. They don't not have 1 case, or 10, or 100. They have 0. But to the opposite spectrum of that is that the cases and the countries that have the most cases are the ones that are in odds, ends, and conflict with China. Such as China, I think it was May 5th, 2020, China and India had a gun conflict, a little foot shooting, little altercation. And they're at odds, ends for war type behavior. And they're one of the leading countries with the leading amount of cases. In Taiwan, May 25th, the Taiwan minister stated that he's preparing for war against China. All of a sudden, May 15th and May 17th, they had the record high numbers for that day. Both those days, May 15th and May 17th. There was talk of war between China and Japan. All of a sudden, 4 days ago, they had a record high number of infections. Now, how does a virus not affect 9 countries? Nevertheless, 9 countries that they're in alliance with. How does that just happen? So you have a thing called 5G and radiation. What they'll soon be doing is going to 10G. They say there's a simultaneous thing going on with the Earth, where the Earth is going into 5D from 3D, third dimension to fifth dimension. It's about raising your consciousness, but I will not digress off of that for people that don't understand that. It's very scientific and things like that. The one place that didn't have 5G was, I think, Mar-a-Lago, where the former boss lived. There's radiation everywhere, and it's kicking up and it's amplifying. It's extremely toxic for people. Whereas a microwave used to be not healthy for us before, the 5G and radiation is that times 100. And it's terrible for our bodies and for us. If you read the instructions of a phone, you're actually supposed to keep your hands in contact around an inch or so away from the phone. Now, what I wanted to state is that, to me, there's what this could be, with scientific proof, of course, of somebody that has the best interest of humanity in hand. Because there's a lot of forces out there, or groups of people, that do not. There are groups of cults and organizations that are very real, and they oppose the best interest of us. So I say stay in love, resonate in love, and be love. With unity is how we excel. But what I think this could be is one of the things that are on the brink of technology that the public doesn't know. It's called nanotechnology, nanovirus technology. That's it. Oh.